Huge congratulations to Mayo, who, after 75 years of pain, stick that in your pipe, England, and smoke it with your 60 years of hurt, finally put the curse to bed and defeated Gerry to win the All-Ireland football final this weekend in a result that no neutral on the planet could begrudge them, with some reeling in the ear scenes of them celebrating to follow, as you would expect. It is the rare sporting occasion where, when something we've been waiting for happens, it just not only lived up to the hype, it delivered, and it had to deliver huge. Absolutely beautiful scenes. I was literally in tears, and I had a lot of grown men, like, who never normally would be giving big sobs yesterday watching them all celebrating the players and some of the speeches talking about people who couldn't be here and probably devoted their entire lives to the cause, only to never get to experience that. But then there was one moment where, like, there was a shot of the Sam Maguire trophy, and they spoke about the people who couldn't make it, and there was an elderly man just behind the trophy, and I just saw him have a big sob, and I was like, he's thinking of people he knows, and he got to see this, and they did. Oh my God. It was just, very emotional scenes. But delighted for Mayo. Congratulations to them for getting the curse finally lifted. But we're not here to talk about GAA. We're here to talk about wrestling, and it's a big week. So, Gerry, as we get kicked off here on another edition of Low Blows, Gerry, what wrestling curse would you like to see finally broken once and for all?
I think this is an easy one for me, but unfortunately, I don't think it's ever going to happen. It's something that I would like to see happen, and it's about a man that we talked about only 2 weeks ago on the show, and that's Sheamus. So I would love to see Sheamus finally win the Intercontinental Championship, but just with the way things are going, it looks like that may never happen. When you see just how many shots he got at that title and how invested we all were, like everyone's looking at every single one of their matches going, go on, you're fun, go on. Oh, like that brought this, what I just said there, the way I said it brought me back to when my granddad used to watch wrestling, because I think still thought it was real. He'd be so into it. And I think we were all the same watching Sheamus trying to win the Intercontinental title. The last belt for him to win. He had won everything else: King of the Rings, Royal Rumbles, World Heavyweights, WWE title, US title, tag titles. He'd won everything. He just needed one more. One fucking more belt. And they couldn't even give him that. And they gave it to fucking Dominic Mysterio for about 3.5 years. Will you ever fuck off, little pissant bastard? Sorry, I'm getting emotional here now.
It is like it's the Irish wrestling equivalent of Mayo for Sam. Sheamus for
Yeah.
IC. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Like, yeah.
Sheamus for IC. Mayo used to be just for sandwiches, but apparently they're for Sam now. But it is the one thing that I would have loved to see. Really, really loved to see. There are some notable people that you would have wanted to be world champion, and never were. But for me, we have to go back to our family and that Sheamus, and I would have loved to see him win the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, it's sick because it's just like, and I heard him kind of do as close as I think we're gonna get to him doing an interview at the weekend, and he spoke about, like, we spoke last time, and if you haven't got a chance and want to hear us go in depth about Sheamus, we did pretty much a show paying tribute to him last time, on Low Blows, but we spoke about the possibility that it might be the end for him. Like, everyone's wondering, where will he go? He might show up in AEW. He might show up anywhere. But listening to his interviews, it seems like he is fairly, like, I've done the whole wrestling thing now. So yeah, we may not ever see it, but who knows? Like, look, life is long, and Royal Rumbles need surprise entrants, and that can lead to other things. So maybe we haven't seen the last. Maybe we will still get Shamo for IC. So we'll try to get that going in the meantime. Yeah, I kind of went a different way with this, because the obvious answer is, look, when you speak curses these days in wrestling, everyone thinks about Danhausen, and I wanted to get a bit creative and look for something different. So I did a bit of research on this, and I was thinking about, like, is there any, like, title belts or, like, acclamations in wrestling that are cursed? And I didn't know this. I never heard this theory before, but I found a really good theory on Reddit about the European title curse. Have you ever heard of this, Gerry?
No.
I wish I could give credit for this post, but it's actually, the account was deleted. But it is someone who put together essentially a dossier of the curse of the European Championship. And it's when you look back at a lot of the former champions, because again, what the purpose of the European Championship, it's supposed to be like, the Intercontinental Championship is the secondary belt, but the European title is supposed to be like the guy who's to come further down the line to give them an opportunity to wrestle important matches. But when you look at the list of champions they had, it's really bad. First off, you have like just premature deaths, right? When you look back at champions who held it. Owen Hart, Test, Eddie Guerrero, Crash Holly, all notable European champions. Then you've got people who like never made it to the top, whose career was just really talented people of varying degrees who just never got to the top. You have X-Pac, William Regal, Jeff Jarrett, Mark Henry, Matt Hardy. These are all people that we consider legends. You've got Midian is on this list for some reason. I wouldn't say he lost out on too much. I'd say he probably did well getting the title reign. Perry Saturn's on here. D'Lo Brown was my favorite wrestler as a kid. Genuinely, one of my first ever favorite wrestlers. Al Snow, we loved him back in the day. Kurt Angle, I think, had a decent run in wrestling. I don't know if I'd necessarily count him. Rob Van Dam, his WWE reign, you can turn around and say that. The Hurricane, DDP, Christian again, when you look at him from a WWE lens, maybe fulfilled his potential, and didn't fulfill his potential. Val Venus. And then at the end, there was a list of kind of tenuous grips with reasons behind it. And this is very, very quick. He said, and finally, to the short list of those who did mostly okay, with one notable exception. And he said, Bradshaw, balding. Shane McMahon, balding. Chris Jericho, balding. Triple H, bald. Shawn Michaels, bald. So even the people who won didn't win.
Jesus Christ.
The European title curse. There you go, Gerry. That's a new one now for today.
I had never heard that before. At the start, when you look at the people who've died, you're like, fuck, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But then when you realize, okay, well, the likes of Kurt Angle was D'Lo Brown was the champion. I think he was the best champion. I think if we're looking at
first ever Euro-Continental champion was
the
D'Lo Brown.
Euro-Continental champion. It was Euro-Continental after him was Kurt Angle, wasn't it? Not directly after him, but it was shortly after.
No, him and Jeff Jarrett went back and forth. I remember this feud, Gerry. If you want to talk to me about
I remember this feud. He was still wearing the chest protector at the time.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
What a fucking gimmick. That was a great gimmick.
Yeah.
That
very
really was.
Protect the chest. Yeah.
The most protected chest, apart from Sable's, and that wasn't really protected at the time because it was fucking out everywhere. But the most protected chest anyway.
D'Lo Brown, fun fact, taught me to run the ropes in wrestling. There you go.
That's right. Yeah. I was there. I was there that day.
Yeah, it hurt like a motherfucker.
And do you remember the ring broke?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
That was Vic Viper's fault. Fuck him.
But Gerry, we're not here to talk about 1999 D'Lo Brown, although I could do a whole show. We'll have to save that for when we've got a quieter time, because we've got a busy fucking week. It's SummerSlam literally this weekend. I know. I didn't think it was that close either. And now I'm like, oh fuck, I've got a whole party to plan. I've got 2 fucking parties to plan. But don't worry, guys. We have our plans set in stone for the past couple of weeks, and we'll bring you through them if you've missed them somehow so far. You haven't seen on the Low Blow socials. So Saturday and Sunday, and we now, as of today, we're recording this on Monday evening. As just a few hours ago before we recorded, we now also know the cards for SummerSlam, and it's an interesting one, but we'll get to the cards separately. First off, what you can expect if you're going to the parties. First off, both parties start 8 p.m. SummerSlam on both nights start conveniently at 11 p.m. It's the August Bank Holiday weekend. Good chance you're off work on Monday. If you're not off work, book it off. Call in sick. It's going to be a great weekend. Do the full weekend if you can, guys. Not just because, we want you to buy tickets. Obviously, we do. But we want to see you. We want to party. We want to have these experiences. I'm putting up throwbacks now. And I have some other fun ones kind of held off for the rest of the week that I'm throwing up on socials and stuff like that. But I put up last week, I put up the first ever SummerSlam party we had and the first ever night we had in the Woolshed in 2013. Gerry, did you get to see some old school pictures? Gerry, if I do say so, you look the same. You look exactly the same. Now, I'm not sure if I'm complimenting Gerry 13 years ago or if I'm insulting Gerry now. But either way, you haven't changed a bit. You haven't aged a day.
Technically, I'm a vampire, but I'm an old ass vampire because I look just as old now as I did then. So look the same fucking age. The only difference between then and now is probably a few stone and some grey in my beard. But other than that, I was looking at the pictures going, you could Jesus, that could have been me 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I look at, but whereas you look about fucking seven.
I do, I do.
You
I
really,
put a
really
picture
do.
into
Like,
my
what the
group chat
fuck?
because there's a picture of me and a few mates, some of whom came to their only low blows night that night because they were coming more to support me because it was a big night in the Woolshed. They're not really wrestling fans, but they ended up enjoying the vibe anyway. And I put up a picture and I'm like, lads, why did you not tell me I had a drug problem? Because there were some very rough pictures in there.
Listen, I don't think you had a drug problem. I think you just went to the same camp that Conor McGregor went that time when he looked like a junkie. So that's fine.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But anyway, yeah. But the point that I'm trying to make is that everyone is going mad for these pictures and they're going, oh my God, that was some of the best nights of our life. Well, guess
Yeah.
what, guys? We're having more of them. We're still going strong. Some would say stronger than ever. We were on fucking Netflix just a few months ago. So, guys, join us. Have another weekend like that you'll still be talking about in another 13 years when we're still fucking going. And Gerry still fucking somehow looks the same as he does today.
Yeah.
Saturday night, 8 p.m. we get kicked off. We're having a Ned's night, a bit of a like kind of more intimate night, similar if you're at a Clash in Italy party or SummerSlam Saturday last year. You remember one where we get to like party with all yous individually, and I really like that vibe as well. We're gonna have classic SummerSlam matches that are going to be playing where you've been choosing them from the World Cup, and we're at the semi-final stage now, Gerry. I don't know if you've been following along with the World Cup contest.
I'm not happy.
You're not happy.
I'm not happy.
Why?
No, because I really just wanted Austin to get into the final. He didn't get into the final, so fuck
But he
everyone
didn't
who
get
said
into
about it.
your final. You didn't
I
pick him for your final.
shut up. Shut up. I'll be pissed off. I want to be pissed off. Mayo won the Sam. Fuck up.
It looks like we're getting the same. Like it's quite similar on one half. It's identical actually on one half to yours. In that we're
Mm.
getting TLC against TLC from 2000 against Triple H and Shawn Michaels in one
Yep.
semi final. And by the way, the semi finals they're the matches that you're going to see on Saturday night. On the other half, it looks like it's going to be completely different. Kurt
Mm.
Angle versus Rey Mysterio from 2002. That made a run. That's gone to the
Yeah.
semi-final, so that might be it, the World Cup winning match, or maybe it's like South Korea in 2002, where it's like just kind of has a good run. And it looks like Cena AJ is going to beat out your runner-up Taker against Edge, so it looks like that's going to be the other semi-final based off the latest scores. Although there's still about 12 hours of voting left as we record, so we'll see. But they're the four matches you're going to be watching anyway. Actually, it is quite close now. It's 54% for Cena AJ, 46% for Taker Edge. So it's getting very, very close. There may be a twist there still. But the semi-finals are the matches you get to see. We're still going to play through and see what the World Cup winner is. But you've chosen the matches, guys. We're going to have, speaking of you chosen, you're pretty much in control of this night. You'll get to basically tell me what I'm playing as a DJ. It's an all request DJ set. We're going to get some random stuff as well. So you guys get to choose the playlist for the night. We're also going to bring back something very popular from last SummerSlam Saturday. We're going to bring back Beer Pong Gauntlet, where essentially it's beer pong, but it works with gauntlet match rules. We pick two people out of the crowd, they have a game of beer pong. We continue to pick people at random. The winner stays on, and the last person standing, you get free drink for SummerSlam. In addition to that, we're also going to have SummerSlam Bingo, where you guys will, everyone there will get a bingo card. It's you don't have to pay, you don't have to do anything extra. You get a bingo card for the show itself, and you mark your card off as stuff happens on the show. So it's going to be great crack. I cannot wait for that. Sunday, that's the beach party where we take over the full Woolshed venue. And with the beach party, we've been doing this since 2013, the very first ever SummerSlam party. It continues to be a tradition, always popular. We have the limbo contest. We have Christian, who'll be defending his title last year. That's actually going to be one of our throwbacks that we're going to put up this week. We'll make you relive Christian's moment of glory to kind of set up this year's limbo contest. We've got our SummerSlam table quiz. I'm currently in the process of building that. It's a really fun one. And we've got a summer party DJ set from yours truly. SummerSlam boat night starts at 11 p.m. Gerry, let's get into some predictions. And we
Hmm.
want to discuss WWE Unreal as well. There was a new series, so we have a lot
Oh,
to discuss. So we'll try keep this short.
yeah.
Saturday and Sunday, the cards are now announced. Saturday, like last year, Saturday was a bit of a preview card, and then all the big
Mm.
matches seemed to go into Sunday. This year, it seems like they've loaded Saturday. And we have a poll up on our Instagram right now. I'll read you out I'll literally do a sense check on the results right now. We have a poll up on our Instagram asking which of the cards people prefer. So far, 68% prefer Saturday in the
Yeah.
poll, which is a fair result, but it's a balanced card. Like, so it's both nights you're getting a good card.
Mhm.
We'll do quick picks on this. First off,
Yeah.
like the way they balance it out, like as well as having some big matches, is they put the two 6-person tags on Saturday as well. So there is a little bit of filler. The Bloodline take on Royce Keys, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa. Who do you think's going to win that? Where are you leaning?
I'm going with Bloodline for this one. I think just because of where the way things are going, they're really trying to put Jacob as a little bit even more unhinged than he was before. The Usos are gone very fucking heel lately. I would love to see the unlikely trio of Hobbs, LA Knight, and Solo Sikoa. I've been loving Solo Sikoa lately. I have to say, his character is actually really growing on me.
Mm.
I think he could be really. I wouldn't say a full face. I think very much a tweener if he stays like that. I think the character is really good. I think he could actually start to really go places. Give him a run for this, or maybe something down the line of a one-on-one between him and Jacob. I think that's the way it should go, rather than him and Roman. But I definitely think the Bloodline is winning this one. Yeah, I think they're going through. It's just to kind of keep the whole Bloodline situation strong. I don't see them losing.
I think Solo's rejoined the Bloodline. Like that's the story
Oh
they've been
no!
telling.
Don't
But
say
but but,
that.
but the
No.
flip side of it is he has to kind of face Jacob, and that was literally last year at SummerSlam, and they've done the Roman thing already. So having the bloodline be as strong as ever, and actually, I think what you have to consider is right now's the time that WWE. It's kind of been a weird year since WrestleMania. There's and that's reflected in kind of the difficulty they have shifting tickets for SummerSlam, and I think the two nights
Yeah.
play into that as well. But what you have to consider is now is the time the cards start getting put into place for WrestleMania. Who's Roman most
Mhm.
likely facing at WrestleMania? Obafemi. How do you
Yeah.
have that be considered like, oh well, always going to beat Roman? You load up the bloodline as strong as they can be, and you have them be a full heel faction, but you have all of that until WrestleMania to play out. So I think loading up the bloodline is the move right now, and I think Solo's turning, and it continues LA Knight's streak of trusting people in the bloodline only to be disappointed in the end. So I'm going the same way
Yeah.
as you, though. Fatal Influence take on the
Yeah.
Bella Twins and Paige. Do you see anything interesting here? Or Fatal Influence, of course, recently won the women's tag team titles.
Okay, so this kind of happens a lot when it comes to, especially with tag team titles, is that somebody will win tag team titles and then there's a multi-person match and then the person who has just won the tag titles loses. So I actually do see Fatal Influence losing here. I think because it was Nikki that came back from his injury, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I see her winning the match.
yeah.
So I see her winning the match. But I also see possibly some shenanigans at the end of this match
Okay,
because the Bellas have been faced for too long.
right.
I think either they just turn on Paige or they lose the match and they blame Paige, so the two of them turn on her, and then we might get AJ Lee coming back to be with Paige. So I'd like to see that happen because obviously we're going to get to Unreal. That's the
Yeah,
name, isn't it? Unreal. We're going to
yeah,
get to that
unreal.
later, and you think parts of you're looking at that part of she might be doing, but no, she's not fucking done. There's no way she's done.
Yeah.
She's happy. She's happy just doing a little bit of a part time thing, and I think we're all happy seeing that because it actually makes it more interesting seeing her come in every now and then. I'm like, so I kind of see the Bellas going heel. I see them turning on Paige and then possibly AJ turning coming back and maybe teaming with Paige. But yeah, I'm actually still gonna stick with uh, Paige and Bella's winning, but
Okay.
I just feel like there's gonna be some sort of shenanigans near the end.
Okay, interesting. I'm I'm just gonna go for Fatal Influence. I don't have much interest
Mm.
in this, but I suppose I could see. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Bellas win, just because like it sets up the tag match that they never got at WrestleMania. So, yeah, it's fine. Yours is way more interesting than I think it'll actually be. It's one of those.
Probably.
Gunther takes on Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis actually making his WWE in-ring debut. Are you excited for this?
I can't wait for this. Because I've gotten to the point now where I'm looking back on a few Aldis matches, because I wouldn't have really seen him wrestle a lot. So obviously he was NWA, he was TNA, and I went back and I'm like, actually really looking forward to this. So actually with him and Gunter, Gunter is exceptional. Just to see Aldis facing him, I think this could be amazing. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is not a career
No.
thing, is it? It's just a match.
Yeah, it's just a
So
match. Yeah,
if
yeah.
this goes well, we could potentially see more Aldis matches. And you saw like last week on SmackDown, he signed the document that said he was no longer GM of SmackDown. So I'm like, is that meaning is he actually making a full, not maybe not a full time, but like a part time move to being a wrestler? I hope so because you look back on some of his older matches, he's really fucking good. So
Yeah.
I'm putting him in with Gunter. Oh, it's going to be an absolute barn burner. I cannot wait for this. To me, this is one of the matches that I'm looking forward to the most.
Oh wow. Um, do you think there's any doubt about the outcome? Do you think he's any
Oh no,
chance?
I think no. Gunter's winning. Gunter's
Yeah.
going over. It doesn't matter if it's Aldis's debut match or not. Gunter's going over. They're going to keep Gunter strong because but I've no idea what they're going to do with him after this, but they're going to keep him strong.
Yeah,
Definitely.
valiant loss for Aldis. It'd be interesting to see because like Aldis is a good wrestler. He's never been really a spectacular wrestler. Like I think the only match I would have seen quite a lot of Nick Aldis in whether it's NWA, TNA, or whatever. But the only really spectacular match I've ever seen him wrestle is the Cody Rhodes match for the
Mm.
NWA Heavyweight Championship. But he can go like, and he's an excellent promo and it's interesting to see him. What I'll find interesting about this is it's his first match wrestling in a WWE style, which is very different style of wrestling. Now pay per view gives you a bit more leeway to just do
Mm.
traditional wrestling than TV does, but it'll be interesting. But he's also well suited to that style as well. Like it's not a huge leap for him. So, but yeah, Gunther's winning this all day. Women's World Championship on the line. Liv Morgan takes on Io Sky. We spoke not too long ago, actually, when we were previewing their match, or we were discussing their match that they had at the last Clash show, where Io won, saying that Liv Morgan's title reign has been a bit of a dud. Is this where it comes to life, or is this where it ends?
This is where it comes to life. Obviously, she lost to Io Sky in the Queen of the Ring tournament, and Io became queen. And then she got her title match against Liv. That to me just completely signifies that Liv is going over in this match. Now, what I've been, and I spoke about this before. I've been hating the fact that there's just so much outside interference for so many angles, like the bloodline, constant outside interference. And now you've got the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day just really pissed me off now at this stage. I'm just sick of the outside interference. I'm not sick of if somebody cheats to win, I'm okay with that. Because they're at the end of the day, heels will cheat. But I'm just sick of you're sitting there. Oh, great! Here come the Judgment Day. They're going to help the person win again. Yay! It's not fun. It's not fun for me anymore. It's really not. It's just rinse and repeat every single fucking match, and I'm getting sick of it now. It's the same with the Bloodline. I was getting sick of that as well. They need to come up with something new because it's just pissing me off. So I'm hoping they just give the two of them the time and I plenty of time because this could be a spectacular match. It's got Io Sky, who I think is probably the best women's wrestler out there right now. I think she's
Yeah.
absolutely fucking amazing. They need to give this a good bit of time on the card. Just let them go, lads. Just let them go. And if Liv has to cheat, then let her cheat. No more outside interference. I'm fucking sick of it. But this could be amazing. But it's for me, Live all the way.
Mm. Like yeah, because you would say that the Judgment Day probably more suited in the Danhausen feud on Sunday. So I think you could get your straight match, and I think they do want to establish Liv as Like, but also from a storyline standpoint, she lost when she did that in the Queen of the Ring final, so it wouldn't make sense for her character to do that when she has to leave her
Yeah,
support
true.
on Raquel and Roxanne. So,
Yeah,
yeah, interesting. But no, I hope this is a good match because yeah,
yes.
Liv needs something to define her title reign badly. And I don't have concerns about Liv. It's just they haven't done much with her. So and I want this to succeed. So it'd be a win. We were having a debate just before we started recording about the main event on Saturday. Your main event, I think, regardless of where it places in the card, because you've been huge on this feud, and mainly because you've been huge on Obafemi since he came in. It's the blow off. It's in Brock Lesnar's town of Minnesota. Let's not forget. Obafemi takes on Brock Lesnar. Hell in a Cell, the rubber match. Talk to me.
So number one, I was watching one of the guys on TikTok, the big wrestling TikTok guy, Santi Zap. Absolutely love his stuff. I love his reviews a whole lot. And he said during the week that no matter what, this needs to be an actual match. This cannot be one of the squash matches that we've seen countless times with Femi and then the short matches with Brock Lesnar. This needs to get 15, 20 minutes at least, at fucking least. It needs to be an actual match, and they need to go in there. And obviously, when you're going to the Hell in a Cell, you're knocking the absolute shite out of each other. So this is what this is going to be. These are two big absolute bruisers going to knock the crap out of each other. But it needs time. It needs to give 15, 20 minutes at the very least to actually do it. Now, when it comes to this match, obviously, I'm hugely excited for this match. I cannot wait for this. There can only be one outcome in this because this is a rubber match between the two of them. Brock Lesnar is on his way out, whether it's this night or whether it's at WrestleMania next year or whatever. He is on his way out. So Oba needs the rub here. He needs to go over, but he needs to go over strong. So he needs to not, we're not talking about fucking squash strong, but he needs to go in there, the two of them knock the shit out of each other and then stand strong after that because he needs to then continue that momentum that will go from now until WrestleMania or whenever he uses his title shot, which we're assuming is going to be WrestleMania next year. But he really needs to go over strong in this, but not squash strong. But I just see this. This is going to be absolute carnage. They're going to knock the shit out of each other.
Mm. Yeah, I think. Look, we were kind of discussing whether this or Cody CM Punk
Yeah,
would be the main event, and I think like the trend has been. Look, there's a reason we keep seeing ads, and we're frustrated with it. But there's a reason we keep seeing ads interrupt WWE shows since they moved to ESPN. It's because ESPN spent a shit ton on getting WWE pay-per-views. They're not making their money back because WWE had to shit can basically the plugs they did for how to download or how to watch pay-per-views on ESPN because it's so fucking complicated. You have to have a subscription to ESPN Plus, then you pay them extra on top of your subscription to watch the pay-per-view. It's messy. So they're not making a lot of money. So what that means is that they're putting on ads throughout the show because that's the way they recoup some of the money that they've invested. Also, on the flip side of that, what we experience in Netflix is we get like 2 minutes of just WWE wrestlers mugging at the camera because Netflix aren't making money off the ads ESPN sell. But that gives ESPN a lot of leverage. And the reason it pertains to this match is because every Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar match so far has been on the ESPN first hour, which is the thing that they start now. So I think this is going to be on that, but I think it also should be on it because the result isn't in doubt. The spectacle is there, and that's what appeals to ESPN execs. But also, like, if it's 1 in the morning, it's getting time for the main event, and you're like, the outcome of the main event, it doesn't really fit. So I think this is the first match we have just to get SummerSlam weekend off to a hot start,
yeah.
which would be strange as well because it's the match a lot of people are looking forward to most in SummerSlam. And it's Brock Lesnar's homecoming match, but I think that's what's going to happen for better or for worse. And I think it's going to be good. I think they're going to make sure they're going to agent the shit out of this. They're going to give it the time that it deserves. It's going to feel big, and it's going to be a huge moment for Oba. But yeah, there's no real doubt about the result. This is Brock putting over the next version of Brock Lesnar. Where there is a bit of doubt is in what I'm touting would be the actual main event, Undisputed WWE Championship, CM Punk against Cody Rhodes. It's interesting that this is on Saturday. Um, because for me, if you put this against Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, I know Reigns and Rollins has all the history and all, but even the build up and like the way WWE positions its stars, like Cody Rhodes is QB1 according to them. CM Punk is the guy the fans want as number one. Reigns and Rollins don't really have that anymore. They might have at one stage, but they don't now. And it's interesting because, on our show that we recorded the day after WrestleMania, we spoke about how we felt that, like, it was originally my theory, but I think I sold you on it and brought you around to it, that this would be the WrestleMania main event next year, to the point that that's actually become a part of their storyline. Punk eventually getting his Sunday main event win. Somehow the fact that it happens in Saudi Arabia fits the WWE narrative, but it also makes sense in the CM Punk story dating back to the pipe bomb. Go listen to that podcast if you want the full theory. But it's mad that we're getting it at SummerSlam first and foremost, and it's not even the real quote unquote SummerSlam main event, it's the Saturday main event, which makes me feel like something is afoot. And also makes me feel like I'm not backing down on this being the WrestleMania main event still, which makes me feel like something strange is about to happen and they've got plans. And this is the twist in the way that CM Punk versus Gunther ended in a twist with Rollins cashing in. It's just, what is it? Is it the much talked about Cody heel turn? Is it a CM Punk heel turn? Gerry, you're smiling, so I feel like you are leaning in the same direction. So give me your theory, because I love your theories and you've always got them. So go for it.
Well, the thing for me was I'm looking at this match going, okay, I'm like, who the fuck's going over in this match? I was so kind of perplexed. But then I see that there's a number one contenders match for the undisputed WWE title. So I assumed that was going to be on the same night. But Sami and Finn is set night two, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
So that kind of fucked up my theory because I was saying, well, whoever wins that match will actually determine who wins the undisputed title match, because the way I was having it was is that if Finn won, let's just say the match was before that match. If Finn won, it meant that Cody was going to go over because Finn and Punk was only done a couple of months ago. So they're not going to do it again after a couple of months. So then if Sami won, it was going to be Punk. And now that one match is on one night and that number one contenders match on the next night, I'm like, have a fucking notion. But I am kind of going the same way as you, is that this is not just a match. There is shenanigans during and at the end of this match. I personally would prefer to see a Cody heel turn because I think it's what most people are asking for over a Punk heel turn. Now, would I take a Punk heel turn? Yes, I would. Because Punk as a heel or a face, it doesn't matter. I think he's great either way. But I think for me, I would be preferring a Cody heel turn. Now, I did see something the other day.
Okay.
Now, it was a silly thing, and I don't really believe it. But if it was to happen, I'm like, okay, that would be kind of cool. There was a graphic put up of Cody. I think it must have been last week on SmackDown, where he was face to face with Punk, and he had his fingers up like that. Right, so for a three, I'm like, what's the fuck? What does that mean? And then you go back to three instances where The Rock went one, and the next time he was out, and he went like two, and the next time, so two was when he did that, and then the three was when he came out on SmackDown, looked at the ring, went three like that, and walked away, and we haven't seen him since. So I'm like, what? I was like, okay, possibly. No, do I think The Rock's going to turn up? Probably not. But I definitely think that got the brain juices flowing. I'm like, there's shenanigans happening. There's something going on in this match. There's nothing very clear as to what's going to happen in this match for me. There's nothing to say one way or another, because I think the promos and everything that's been happening the last few weeks is just going to be that they're going to go in there and knock the shit out of each other. Not anything that, well, this person's going to turn here, that person's going to turn heel. But it really gets the creative juices flowing. But so I think there's probably going to be a million and one theories about this. I'm not claiming the Rock theory as my own. I saw that on TikTok. Like, that's interesting. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But it's interesting, and it then got me thinking, and now you have me thinking as well. I'm like, oh, I definitely want to see something happen in this match. This cannot be just a match. Somebody wins, they walk away, shake hands, whatever. There has to be something. Something
Mm.
has to happen. And we have seen a very heelish side of Cody over the last 6 to 8 months. There's been certain things that he's done. He has low blow people. He has used belts and chairs and shit like that. He hasn't actually turned heel. He's just kind of teased us. So is it just going to be teased again, and we're going to get maybe a Punk heel turn, or will somebody interfere? Or was I cannot call this. That's what makes this main event exciting because I haven't a fucking breeze, and that's what I like about it. I really am. This one for me. I'm really looking forward to this. I think I'm looking forward. I'm more looking forward to this than I am night two main event
Yeah.
because this to me should be the main event.
Mm.
Because if there's going to be shenanigans, why not have it on night two? That would make sense to me, the more sense to me. Now, and that's not to say that night two main event couldn't go absolutely mental because I think it will. I think WWE, as you said to yourself, they're kind of panicking, going, okay, the matches, we're having to put this down, the seats aren't fucking filled up. Yeah, what are we going to do? I think they're going to pull out all the stops for a lot of these matches, and it's just going to be absolute fucking shenanigans everywhere. A lot's going on. You're going to have the world talking about SummerSlam come Monday. I hope so, anyway. But I definitely think that WWE Undisputed title match is going to be mental,
Yeah.
absolutely mental.
I think I think a heel turn's happening here.
Mhm.
I think that I still have this odds on as your WrestleMania Sunday main event next year, with a bit of heat. But this is how you turn the heat up by having something happen here because it's just too soon to give away a match that could give them this much. It has to be something setting up an even bigger match. I think if you try do a Punk heel turn, and I think they know this, and I think they're smart enough to avoid this, all that's going to happen is you're going to do a Becky turning on Charlotte deal where the crowd are like, yeah, go on, Punk, kill him. Um, don't don't overthink this. People want to boo Cody. There's a lot of juice in it. Don't have this be the John Cena heel turn going, well, what have we doing in 15 years? And it's his last year. That didn't work. You just did a whole fucking reality TV series about how it didn't work. Um, give us what we want, and that is to boo Cody. Like allow us to do it and go cash those checks. Cody, when
Yeah,
you use him right, is your QB1. He has that
yeah.
value. But right now he doesn't. He's boring in this vanilla QB1
Mm.
character. People are kind of sick of it. The story has not only finished, it's been beaten into the ground. Give him a new story, give him a new arc, give him something new to play with, and cast a check at WrestleMania if you get it
Can
right.
can I give a theory here?
Okay.
Just because everything you said there, you have me sold. Absolutely sold on it. Obviously, I wouldn't want to see Punk just lose the title so quickly, but let's look at long term planning here.
Yes.
You have Cody turn heel, and I do mean fucking heel. He needs to go proper heel. I think he needs to get a lot of blood on Saturday as well. The blonde hair needs to be red from the blood. He needs to turn heel hard. That will then be Punk's arc to then redeem himself.
Yes.
He will then go on, and I think this will be the year he wins the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
He's never won the Rumble, hasn't he? No,
Nope.
no, he's never wins the Rumble. The Rumble winner goes on to face in the main event. It'll be night two. Poke, Jesus, Punk versus Cody, night two for the title. He finally gets his win on night two, and there we go. But that then leaves, if you're doing that main event on night two of WrestleMania, that means that Roman has to face Oba on night one of WrestleMania, and Roman will not be happy about that.
Nah, that's okay. Roman knows his spot now. He jobbed out to Cody for this exact purpose. Like that's still a cool night one. That is your crowning of the next generation.
Mm.
So I think that still works. Like give Punk his story, give him his proper WrestleMania run where he wins the Rumble. He defies the odds. The whole Saudi Arabia thing. I think it's a much bigger thing. But that look, we can save that debate for another day, because that will be, if what we think is about to happen happens, that will
Mhm.
be the next 6 to 8 months of our life. So look, we'll have that debate the other day, another day, because we still have a whole day of SummerSlam to talk about. Let's talk about Sunday. We don't have to spend too long on some of these matches. Danhausen, Dom Mysterio, comedy, blah blah blah. Danhausen wins.
Danhausen wins, yeah, because Dom is cursed. Yeah.
Yeah. Trick Williams defends the US Championship against the returning Baron Corbin. Is there any juice in this for you? Do you think sometimes, like, they can do a thing? Trick, we know, is destined for stardom. We've talked about that all year as well. But sometimes you can be that you can fail upwards in WWE by losing the title that's keeping you in the mid card. Corbin's just back with a head of steam. This could be one of those moments, and we know that Corbin was a Triple H guy, so you kind of believe that they're going to give it a go. But then again, so was Aleister Black and Killer Cross and other people that haven't really worked out. Do you think Corbin wins here?
No.
I agree. I agree.
No.
I think you gave it the proper respect and time.
No. He doesn't win. No. No. Like, this is the thing. Like, I don't think Corbin is bad. I actually think he's a good wrestler, but there's so many people that have either been released or are being allowed to walk away. Like Sheamus, that I'm like, you already have people there. Why not use them instead of bringing somebody back who is not that fucking popular? He's not that over with he's just not. What? Like, no,
Can I
just
give you
no.
the depressing truth of why?
Oh, go on.
Because it is a different proposition to go to an already signed talent and say, we'll give you a new contract for half than it is to go to someone who is earning zero off WWE and offer them the same equivalent amount.
Yeah,
And
that makes sense.
yeah, for me, I look at it that way, and I totally agree with your point. And I think it's the sad economics that they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, well, it'll be fresh, it'll be someone people haven't seen in a while, and also cheap. And again, not dissing Corbin. I quite like Corbin. I pitched Baron Corbin in an old low blow show to have his own WWE Network spin-off. Do you know what the title was? And you'll know immediately what the show was. Baron Corbin's Baron Women, where Baron Corbin meets women who are infertile. Like, I want them to go all the way with Baron Corbin back in the day. Baron is such a horrible word to describe. I hate those words, but yeah.
Jer, I fucking hate you.
Yeah, but you'd watch. You'd fucking watch it, wouldn't you?
I
You'd watch
would
it where
not
he's
watch
like,
it.
he's not really interested. He's like, tell me about how you can't have kids.
Oh my god! Stop digging the fucking hole, man, and just go on to the next match. Jesus
Moving
Christ.
on. Interim WWE Women's Championship on the line as Rhea Ripley still recovers from her injury. In the ladder match, we have 5 of the 6 participants announced so far. Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, Chelsea Green, with Julia or Lash Legend to follow. The winner of their match, which is going to happen later this week. I don't know if it's on Raw or SmackDown. I think probably SmackDown. But Gerry, who do you think would be set up for a good feud against a returning Rhea Ripley?
I think it's going to be Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
I just think it, because obviously they're no longer doing the tag team titles with her and Alexa Bliss. I look at everyone else in that match going, no, Jade, no, I don't see Jade winning it because that's just a rematch from WrestleMania. No, I definitely think her and Charlotte. Yeah, they could work well in a new feud. Yeah, no, I see Charlotte. I don't see anyone else winning it, to be honest.
I'd love to say Chelsea here.
Oh, I would love to. Yeah, I would love
Yeah,
that too. Just
I'd
because
love to see them give
she's
her a
so
run, but
heavily featured on Unreal. You know,
yeah.
she's I think she's been every season at this point, and
Yeah,
I'm
because
loving the
she's so
fact.
likable.
Yeah,
She's the person that, like, again, if you think about Unreal as like content for non-wrestling fans to try get their like partner invested in and stuff like that, WWE to kind of widen the kind of scope in the same way Drive to Survive was a huge boon for Formula One. Chelsea Green is the person that connects with people. Like, you like her, and it's not just like women like her; it's everyone likes Chelsea Green. But again, I probably agree. I think Tiffany, like the only argument against Charlotte is they've done it so many times with Rhea,
Yeah.
and I think Tiffany is the interesting one that I'm kind of watching. I haven't thought about it that much, but she also has the women's US title, so there's
Yeah.
that too. And I'd like to see something new, but she's the only one I can think of that works. Chelsea, like I would go crazy if Chelsea won in World. I think it'd
Mhm.
be a real moment.
Be brilliant.
Heart says her head probably leans toward Charlotte as well.
Yeah.
Intercontinental title on the line. Penta defends against Chad Gable. Chad Gable in his hometown seems nailed on for a win. I also think that this is going to be like Chad Gable, since he's come back and turned babyface. It's interesting to have his first big pay per view match against Penta because he's kind of on an apology tour with all the luchadors he offended, which in a way makes sense, but it's also a weird way to position him in terms of his first rival is a luchador that he should be apologizing to, and now he's going to take his title off him. But his face turn hasn't clicked, but everyone loves him. So what better way than to get his face turn to click? Like people want his music and his entrance to be a thing. Like they have the whole clap thing that's not really working. But I think Minnesota are going to go along with that, and maybe this is the time to get him over. I think this is going to be a match that we're sleeping on right now, but we come away from the weekend actually buzzing about. But yeah, Chad Gable, I think, is winning this all day. Or is there maybe a twist?
Mm, no, I see Chad winning it. I think he had this is his own little personal curse because he's gone for this belt almost as many times as Sheamus has.
Mm.
So I see him finally getting rid of that little curse and becoming Intercontinental Champion. Now, is there room for him to show his true colors and be the Chad Gable that we know him to be?
No, no.
Maybe. But I think this was the natural progression for him. If he comes back and he's kind of redeeming his character, he wants to just get out there and wrestle. That's what he
Mm.
wants to do, and he wants to do it against the best. Who better than Penta? Somebody he has faced many times, he's never beaten, and he wants to win the Intercontinental title. I think it's definitely a Chad win. He finally wins the belt. I'd like it to see just like that. He just goes in and wins the title, and that's it. And we don't need anything else. I definitely think it would be absolutely amazing match. It's one that you could potentially have as like MVP of the whole weekend in terms of matches themselves. I don't think the build up for it has been huge. It's just more along the lines of Chad's kind of redemption arc. But I definitely see it being a great match. They're two fantastic wrestlers, but I think this is where Chad wins the belt.
One of the interesting things to watch for here is that WWE are repeating a trope that they fail so often in that it is where they try and use a guy who's gotten really over by doing a specific gimmick and then strip away everything and make the fans fall in love with them. And they almost like dare the fans. They go, there you go, we're gonna give him to you. The person I think of most here is Damien Sandow. Do you remember like he had the whole Mizdow thing and he was over huge? And then like after that kind of played out, they had him go, hey guys, I'm Damien Sandow. I'm just a guy. I hope you'll follow me on my journey. And we never heard from him again. He was pretty much like gone within a year. But I also maintain that Chad Gable is in the spirit of Kurt Angle, who reminds us so much of, just that kind of indomitable character that he can overcome anything they throw at him. Like he is arguably the best like talent that they have and they're just sleeping on him. So if he can do this and get this over, push this guy to the fucking moon, lads. He's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah,
And I hope that
agreed.
this is the start of that and not just something that, oh, well, it fell flat. Well, you thought he was a big star with the Grande Americano thing, but it never worked out, did it? Where WWE seems to just spite itself sometimes. That may be the match everyone talks about, but also let's not forget Finn Balor's wrestling Sami Zayn, so that's going to be a pretty fucking good match as well. Indie Dream NXT Heritage as well. Not a lot getting played upon. It's kind of thrown together at the last minute, but it is an absolute banger, and the Woolshed will be hopping for it as we always are for Finn.
Mhm.
Number one contenders: Sammy, will he get his title shot back, or will Finn be thrust into the title scene as maybe heel Cody's first challenger? If that goes the way we're kind of leaning, where are you leaning with this?
So basically, just what I thought earlier on is now the opposite way round. Whoever wins the night one main event determines who wins in this match, because we're not going to get another Cody versus Sami Zayn match. We're just not. It's going to be Cody versus Finn. If Cody wins, it's going to be Cody versus Finn. If Punk wins, it's going to be Punk versus Sami. That's the way I see it. So this for me is fairly clear cut. Whoever wins in the main event night one determines the challenger the next day. So I think if we're going with the idea that Cody is going to turn heel and win the title from Punk, then that means we're going to have number one contender Finn going against Cody, whatever the next pay per view is.
And I think Finn is such an underrated guy to be in that spot. Essentially, he's the guy to be heel Cody's first opposition. So you have to, for that to work, you have to have someone who the fans really, really do love and will get behind in that spot and can do well. And unfortunately, that seems to be Finn's modern day Finn Balor's ceiling in WWE. Like I think of when he faced Brock Lesnar for the title years ago at Survivor Series and the likes, where he'll tease you that he's going to do it. I think it was the Royal Rumble actually. He'll tease you he's going to do it, but then we all know he's not. But he'll make it convince you in the moment that he just might. And he will be great in that spot. But yeah, you'd love to kind of hope that he has a hope. But I think he's a good hope here. The Sami Zayn WrestleMania trail that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago doesn't seem to be fully working out. But who knows? Maybe an electric match here might put that back in motion. Main event of the whole weekend by the looks of things, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, The Shield. You think there's shenanigans going to be happening here as well?
Shenanigans, yes, but I think the outcome is pretty certain. I think it's been said from the start of this kind of, and it's not a feud; it's like a mini feud at this stage. It's been said from the start that Roman really hasn't beaten Seth. He needs that one win over Seth to kind of complete everything. What I'd like to see is it. You know, we've seen this match a couple of times before. It's always mostly good. I would like Reigns just to get in there and beat him, just beat him. But I just feel yes, there will be shenanigans. I think if you're correct and Solo is going to be rejoining the Bloodline, this is where it happens. It doesn't happen in the match; it happens here. Because you could have the likes of LA Knight and Hobbs and Solo interfere. You have the Bloodline come out and interfere, but then Solo is the one that actually costs Seth the match. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it all pans out. But I think the ending is that's it. The ending is determined. Roman's going over.
Yeah, and I think that's a shame because Reigns never beating Rollins is something that we've always kind of been aware of in the background, even before they brought it up. It's one of the things they protected. So to just kind of throw it away on an event on a match with very little actual hype is a bit of a shame to me. I'd love to see Rollins win and just keep that going because I like when things like this get kept going. I like long-term
Yeah.
storytelling. But I do agree, and I actually quite like your theory. I think you can do it both ways, where you can have uncertainty where Solo takes the pin or makes a mistake on Saturday and cost them, but then it's like, sorry guys, I fucked up. You know what I mean? And seems to be a genuine face before committing to the turn the following night. So I could see that. I could see exactly that happening. And the WWE do like their shenanigans at SummerSlam, even if they do shenanigans night one. We saw last year with Brock Lesnar coming out at the end of night two. They like to double up on it. And as well, keep in mind, this is also building towards, which we're going to get onto now, probably the end of season 4 of Unreal. So they'll want something to kind of be like, oh, look at the booking genius, guys. Look what we did.
Yeah.
It's about moments, what people don't understand. They'll need something to justify that. So, like, I'd say, yeah, that probably will be. So that's SummerSlam. And look, again, it's one of these things that when you go through the card, I'm actually much more excited than I was before, because I'm like, this is
Mm.
gonna be entertaining, and you can watch and experience it all with 2 nights of entertainment with us in Woolshed. Give yourself memories that we're gonna be looking back on 12, 13 years from now, rather than just sitting at home being pissed off at ad breaks on Netflix. We're gonna sing. I have a few absolute bangers lined up for ad breaks, guys. Trust me, I have a few things that you're gonna love. So join us for both nights. Ned's on Saturday, beach party full venue on Sunday. Tickets eventbrite.ie. The way things are going, I think, especially with Punk Cody being moved to Saturday and Hell in a Cell, I think Saturday's going to sell out now. I think all tables are almost definitely going to go for Sunday as well. There'll be general admission for Sunday, don't worry. But like, yeah, get on it, guys. Don't regret it. Don't be sitting at home pissed off at that breaks. Give yourself a guaranteed good night, no matter what happens with low blows. Gerry, that's one thing, but we also had a series of WWE Unreal released last week. And Gerry, I respect you. You had a busy week. You were traveling the weekend. You're a busy man that's in demand. But you still made time to watch season 3 of WWE Unreal. So I'm just going to cut to the chase. We'll get into the individual parts and components of the why first and foremost. But first off, I just want to get your overall thoughts on this versus the first two series. What were your overall thoughts on Unreal?
I thought it was a good season. Obviously, it's only a short season. I think 6 episodes, something like that, on each one.
Five, even
Oh,
shorter.
five. Sorry, 5 episodes in each season. Um, I thought it was good. I definitely think it's kind of slightly lost, kind of, we'll say, momentum that we had in the first season because we didn't know what to expect in the first season. But it was interesting to see the whole retirement of obviously John Cena, the stuff with AJ and AJ Lee and Punk. You've got Chelsea Green in there as well. Jesus, like looking at the Seth Rollins stuff and the Braun Breaker stuff, and then the overall kind of vision stuff. It's really interesting. Um, I know a lot of people don't like this type of show because they feel like kayfabe is dead because of it, but kayfabe died years ago, lads. You need to get the fuck over it. I think for me, it is very interesting to see exactly how they come up with ideas and how they do certain things, how they listen or don't listen to talent, how it all plays out backstage. To me, it's a very interesting show. I genuinely do like it. As soon as I knew it was on Netflix, I just binged all 5 episodes. I thought it was really good. But obviously, we're going to get into the nitty gritty of each individual thing here and now. But no, overall, I thought it was a good season.
I disagree.
Oh,
I I feel like I'm always gonna have a certain level of interest. Love a documentary, love a Netflix binge, love WWE. So I'm always gonna have the floor for my interest in this is always gonna be high. But I think this show is on the floor and for a very specific reason.
wow.
WWE are doing this because they want to make their product like Drive to Survive made F1 just explode. I was a dormant F1 fan and I love sport. I watch a bit of everything. Seriously, it wrecks my girlfriend's head. But I watch everything and I stopped watching F1 and then Drive to Survive came on. I'm like, I'm back in, guys, after years of watching Schumacher, Villeneuve, Eddie Irvine, all the old. And that brought me back. WWE want to do that. They want to expose their product to the masses and it is failing. What we should be experiencing if this project of making their own version of Drive to Survive would be people in our lives coming to us who haven't watched wrestling in years going, oh, fuck me, I'm back in. Like, Jesus Christ, I didn't know all the stuff that goes on backstage, and the booking meetings are so fascinating. But it's not doing that. That's not happening. And the reason it's not happening is because of Triple H's and Nick Khan and TKO's insecurity and inability to allow a Drive to Survive season by showing the fucking mess. What was the one word we used to describe WrestleMania season on Low Blows? Which this covered. What was the main word we used? We said something mania.
I genuinely can't remember, but if I had to put a name to it, I'd say Bollocks Mania because that's what
It
it
was
was.
messy mania. Do you remember
Yeah,
we did podcasts about it, right?
yeah.
And it was messy. Like the shit kept happening, injuries kept happening, this kept happening, bookings kept changing. Pat McAfee came along, nobody liked it. You know what I mean? That should make for amazing reality TV content. If it's not as great to watch, like actually in person, it should at least make for a great season of fucking telly. We expected this, now this happened, and then this happened, and then we tried this, and they didn't love it, and what the fuck are we supposed to do? Amazing TV. But the problem is, WWE are so fucking insecure, and you can see they've got so much control over this product that they're like, let's just pretend all of that was the plan all along, and all of our plans worked, and actually we're geniuses. You know what I mean? Like, that's all they fucking did, and it was just Triple H fucking mansplaining why things we know to be shit were actually great, and why we don't understand why they were great. Like, Drive to Survive doesn't do this, and all major sports, except for WWE, are moving away from this style of content. Major sports like NFL hire reporters to get into training camps to get the scandals off the players and the coaches. Drive to Survive, when Christian Horner, the leader of Red Bull, had a sexual harassment scandal, Drive to Survive said, we've got 3 great episodes out of this. You know what I mean? They get in the dirt, and you rely on it to get in the dirt because you watch these things. And instead of going, like, the way we should be responding in a world where WWE Unreal exists, it shouldn't be, if something's shit, we shouldn't go, oh, this is shit, I wish it was better. We should go, this is going to make for a great episode of Unreal. Because that's what happens when something messy happens in Formula One. I go, oh, how's Drive to Survive going to cover this next year? I can't wait to watch that. But I'm not reacting that way. And it's because WWE are just so fucking patronizing and just so afraid of admitting that they got something wrong, that like they can't even, the Pat McAfee storyline, and that's a fucking great Netflix reality TV content if you allow it to be. That is, we got this massive star in from ESPN, we thought he'd supercharge our WrestleMania main event, the fans fucking hated it, and they just kind of went, yeah, it wasn't the main thing, but the match was still great. Look, oh, look, Cody won. Wasn't it amazing? When all of us were just like, that was shit. You know, we lived it, and then we lived it again, and the experience that they told us we lived wasn't the experience we lived. So this isn't reality TV. This is WWE propaganda, and I've seen that for the past fucking 30 years, and it's fucking boring. For me, I'll always watch this show. I'll always be at least interested in certain aspects of it, but for me, this series died after John Cena's retirement. Like, I watched behind my phone for the last 3 episodes. The John Cena retirement was really interesting. I liked that part, the first 2 episodes, but then I was like, nah, there's nothing left because they're not telling the real story. Am I overreacting, or what are your thoughts?
Oh, no, I don't think you're overreacting, but they didn't tell the real story with John Cena's retirement either. Because they tried to say that certain things that happened to were absolutely according to plan, and bollocks they were.
Yes. Yes.
Absolute bollocks they were. I'm sorry,
Yes.
you're just flat up fucking lying now at this stage.
Yes.
There's just
Agree.
no way. It was a fucking failure of a heel turn. You just won't admit that it was a failure. It was just, oh no, that was part of the plan. This is the way John Cena wanted it from the start. Bollocks. Absolute bollocks. So you're saying like you were invested in that part. I was like, no, I was looking at that part going, fucking reel your neck in, lads. Come on, the fuck. Give her
But
over.
can I tell you why I love that part though? Because actually, that was real. But the realness of it, you're totally right in your observation. The realness of it was John Cena's own delusion and failure to accept that the last year of his career didn't go his way and wasn't great and that it didn't really work. And there were bits that worked. It was fine, but they had to cater for John Cena's insecurity so much that they named the first episode The Why. So John Cena could mansplain to you why you're wrong. And then it's just like, and then he goes into each individual match of his final few matches and starts, which were just thrown together nonsense. Like, at one point, I wrote this down. He's like, why would we fight Brock Lesnar? That's easy. Brock Lesnar is once in a genre. That's not a catchphrase, John. That's not a catchphrase anyone's ever said. That's not a thing. You're just making shit up. You're trying to throw together words and gaslight us all. But for me, that's fascinating because that's not WWE. That's John Cena. That is a Hollywood superstar who came back to wrestling, had a like gilt edged like fucking Like, I can't miss last year of his career where aspects work. The AJ Styles match was a classic. The ending against Gunther was absolutely spectacular, and I loved his justification for why he did it that way. I was into that. So bits of it worked. The heel turn was interesting, and it's fine if it doesn't work, but just own it. Just own it. But John Cena is so small and so bothered by all of this that he has to like sidetrack all of Netflix's whole reality TV show to literally try and explain why everything that didn't make sense actually did, and you're just stupid. Um, like, so I found that part fascinating, but it wasn't because it was John. It was shut up, John. Like, I watched the entire time. Shut up, John.
Sure.
It's okay. It's okay to say you did something that didn't work. Like, you've had an amazing career and you're a legend. It's all right for you to not be 100% perfect, but he can't deal with it, and that's what I find fascinating about that. Do you get me?
No, I do understand. Yeah, but I still enjoyed the series. Like there were certain parts of it that I really enjoyed. I liked the Braun Breaker stuff.
Okay.
This is obviously a young guy. He's still very new to wrestling. I don't know why I had it in my head that it was actually the other Steiner that was his dad. I thought it was Scott Steiner was his dad, but that's his uncle.
Rick Steiner.
Um, but what you're watching it, and you can see just how much he loves it and how enthusiastic he is about it. Then just when it's going his way, he gets injured. You're like, oh fuck, and just the like how he felt like he let himself down and let everybody else down. How upset he was over it. That was the I think the realest part of it for me. That and you look at the Seth Rollins and the Seth Rollins situation about him getting injured as well, but I look at the Seth Rollins slightly differently. Is that don't get me wrong here now? I love Seth Rollins. I think he's incredible talent, but my Jesus, does all he seems to do is get injured. It just
Mm.
seems to be injury after injury after injury. So then you say to yourself, how long can that last? How long can that go on until you're just going to be injured and that's fucking it, or WWE just going to be sick of it? Go, you know what? He's injured again. Fuck, get good luck. Just
Yeah.
no, I don't think that will ever happen. But at the end of the day, it does seem to be injury after injury after injury, and
Mm.
I'm getting fucking sick of it at this stage. I just don't want them to be injured anymore. So maybe change your style a little bit. Maybe stop being fucking stupid. Some of the things you're doing, like how he injured himself. It was it against Cody?
Cody
Oh,
diving head,
yeah, yeah.
which
And I'm like,
diving headbutts have never gone wrong for anyone who's used them.
no, no,
Dynamite
no,
Kid,
no
Chris
one's ever been
Benoit,
injured. No,
Seth Rollins. It
no,
always goes well. Keep
yeah,
doing diving headbutts, lads. It's a really smart thing to do. Yeah.
yeah. It's a great, great thing to do. Sweet Jesus. But I think overall the show was good. I did like the AJ Lee stuff. I really did.
I
I
want
like
to
to see it
say
come
I
back.
want to spend time on that because I think that was the one part that really worked. But just a couple of things that I wanted to just a couple of notes I took from the Rollins and Braun thing before we move on to
Hmm.
that.
Yeah,
Two things I loved. Like, it's the little things that matter in this, right? Um, like, I loved. Do you remember? First off, when Rollins got injured, right? The
mhm.
best moment they captured and a pure fan moment where you could relate to Rollins was, did you see where he did WrestleMania mats just after getting backstage? And he's like, how long should I be injured? 6 months?
Yeah,
And then he's like, six. And you can hear him counting to WrestleMania. And it's like, that's what we do. And it was really relatable. Like, it was really, like, in the moment of learning that he's injured. Like, going, kind of make it back for WrestleMania, because that's literally what we as fans do. But also Braun, I thought it was really likable. The backstage promo where they're writing Seth off television and Seth is going, just nail me, and Paul Heyman is talking him into it, and like you can
yeah,
just see Braun being like, oh, I feel so bad, I have to fuck him up, but like, Braun just came across a really normal, nice guy. Don't know if he makes great television, but like, I liked him a lot more off the back of it. But
yeah,
I will agree with you. I think the one big success in this, and it surprised me, was, now look, they had a hell of a story to tell between AJ Lee's comeback. Unfortunately, the fact that like Larry passed away in the middle of
yeah,
this was also just a tragic thing, but made for fascinating TV. I've been a huge CM Punk critic for years. on low blows. Pretty much since he did the pipe bomb, like, or not the pipe bomb, but since he walked away from WWE, we've had a podcast since then, and I've criticized him ever since. And Old Man Punk is winning me back. This version of CM Punk, I'm quite. I've always liked him as a performer,
Yeah.
but disliked the person. But I liked this version of CM Punk. I think watching him be around AJ and Larry just grounded him, and we got to see the person that he is at home rather than the guy wrestling makes him become. And I thought it really stood to him, and I hope that, like, he seems like a guy who's all of his problems come from demons and probably having a tough childhood and stuff like that as well. And he acts out and becomes the worst version of CM Punk, and that's what we've has kind of got the headlines over the past few years. But I kind of just went. I'm like, I quite like that man. I hope that man is the man that he for the rest of his life, and I hope the fact that he's main event in WrestleMania and doing all the things that he's always fought for gives him the validation that he doesn't need to be the toxic version of CM Punk. But I thought this was a huge win. It was fascinating, sometimes heartbreaking, sometimes uplifting television. I love this, and I know you loved it too. So go for
Yeah.
it.
The Punk AJ Lee stuff was I thought was brilliant, and you do definitely get to see a completely different side of Punk in this because he's with his wife. One thing I will say is that I find especially about Unreal is that they never let you see Punk and Rollins interacting unless it's in the ring or a promo. They never let you see it, no matter what. So they play off the fact that they hate each other. Now, do we know 100% that they haven't buried the hatchet or they haven't had a conversation to sit down and go, listen, you know, shit was done, shit was said, we'll move on. No, nobody knows. They still allude to the fact that they fucking hate each other in every single interview that they do. The only time we ever saw them interacting was in a round table for I can't. It must have been an elimination chamber, or maybe it was a Survivor Series thing, or whatever it may be. Maybe the first season, and you see them talking. Everyone is talking. Obviously, there's a lot of people that, but you see them actually talking to each other. That's the only time you see it, and you never see it any other time. You do see Rollins talking about when he's about to go in and cash in. Nobody knew he was there. He was on the bus and he's calling Punk a piece of shit and this, that, and the other. I was like, this is supposed to be the reality side of things. So does he really hate him? Does he not? We haven't the fucking clue. But I do like the aspect that they don't allow you to see that. And it is the fact that a lot of this AJ and Punk stuff that we were seeing backstage was during the Becky and Seth Rollins feud. And her and AJ Lee's return match. So you don't even see Becky and AJ Lee interacting backstage like you do with every other feud that everyone's having on the show. They're all talking backstage. They're hugging each other, congratulating each other. Thanks, it was a great match, blah, blah, blah. You don't see it with AJ Lee, with Becky, with Rollins, and with Punk. And I actually really like that because it's still, that is kayfabe in kayfabe.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good
That's
balance.
kayfabe and kayfabe. I'm like,
Yeah,
as a wrestling fan, you're like, I actually don't know what's going on there,
yeah.
and I like it. So you're giving this all this backstage stuff, reality stuff, but you're still playing us. You're still playing us. So I loved that aspect. I love when she came back. I love the fact that the conversation she was having with Hunter backstage, and it's still. I think I look at those conversations and go, she still doesn't fucking trust him. She doesn't fucking trust him completely. You can tell by her demeanor, the way she talks, the way she's looking at Triple H backstage. She doesn't 100% trust him. So for me, it's a thing where I'm liking that. They're still slightly guarded, but you are seeing a new side of it. But what you're seeing from Punk is that's a happy man. That's
Yeah.
somebody he has his wife, he has his best friend there. He's a happy man. So then when it rolls on to the next episode
Oh,
and you see what happened, and I'm sitting here and my two are behind me, I was fucking sobbing looking at this because this was their kid. Larry was their kid. That's the way it was. They don't have children themselves. Larry was the I loved how he said he doesn't like to say Larry died. He likes to say Larry went back to his home planet.
yeah.
And I loved I love that. And then their explanation as to where they got the name, because he looked like what was it, the werewolf, but the fact that his teeth,
Larry
he did
Talbot.
that. Yeah, he had the had the underbite, and he looked like the werewolf. I was like, that's cool. That is really cool. And even you see everybody interacting with Larry backstage, and he even says it himself during it, is that Larry had a bite in his record. So if he had one more, that was it. He was being put down. So he was so unbelievably protective of his dog. Um, and I literally sat there. I was on the couch here. I had both of, oh, actually, no, both of them are not behind me. One of them just brushed past my fucking legs. I didn't even know he was there. I was like, is that a rat? No, it's my dog. Um, I had the two of them on the couch with me, and I just kind of hugged them a little bit tighter at that point. And I'm like, that unfortunately will happen one day to me. Um, I don't like to think about that. And I hope it's many, many, many years down the road. But seeing it and seeing how they talked about him, they are two. He Punk himself is a very different person, and at the end of the day, people have the ability for change.
Mm-hmm.
He is a very different person to what he was in 2012, 2013. He was a dick. He's still a dick, but he's a more likable dick now. And you only have to see his interactions with other people backstage. And by that, I mean, look at how he interacts with Rhea Ripley in one of the episodes. He's obviously a huge help to her. I'm assuming some sort of mentor to her. You can tell she absolutely adores the man. And then now that his wife is there, now obviously she's not there right now, but being there at shows was just amazing for him. I'll always go back to the moment where AJ Lee first comes back, and it's not. I don't think you even get that moment in the show. Just look back on that SmackDown where AJ Lee comes back, and the look on his face with the folded arms, and he's looking at the entranceway, and his wife walks out. That is the proudest husband that has ever been fucking married ever on the planet, in history, the whole universe, everything. He loved that moment. That was the problem. That to him, I think, was almost as big as a WrestleMania main event. His wife coming back and being with him in that ring. You just tell that they absolutely adore each other. They have such a great time together. They're on this road now with wrestling again. She talked about how it's gone from being paid fuck all back in the day to being treated like everybody else, like how her husbands get treated in terms of money and how to negotiate and all that. It just seems it's great. Like, I don't know if you saw any of the panels from this past weekend from San Diego Comic-Con, but the two of them were on a panel with Danhausen and a few other people, and you can just the crack they were having. That I was like, I would have loved to be there for that panel. I'd say it was absolutely brilliant. I would have absolutely loved to be there for that. But just to see Punk and AJ back and interacting there, and how they're getting on now, I'm loving that aspect of it. But that Larry episode just I think it got everybody. There wouldn't be a dry eye in any house watching that episode. It was absolutely heartbreaking. You see Larry when they're forced back in WWE. He is a dog that's able to run around, and he's running around on the lead. He's interacting with people. People are petting him the whole lot. And by the end, he can't fucking walk.
Yeah.
And then the sickness, the infection took him really, really quickly. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's horrendous. It really, really is horrendous. So my heart absolutely went out to the two of them. But the fact that it happened, and you would have excused anybody from work or anything if that happened. But he was right out. He main evented. He had the patch put on his jacket that day it fucking happened.
Oh,
I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then
WrestleMania.
when he's on the top rope,
It's got me.
and he puts
I
his
didn't
hand.
realize that at the time.
I didn't get it. But he puts his hand on his chest to touch Larry's paw and jumps. I'm like, oh, you bastard. Stop it, Punk. Just stop it. And I think it was, thinking of Larry and, the hand on the chest, all that made that main event for him anyway, even more special. And that's we got one of the best Mania main events we've ever had, and it was just a straight up fucking match, and I loved that. Even seeing him talk about it, obviously he got another main event. This was the main event, but unfortunately for him, he didn't go over on it. So the next one, he'll want to win, obviously. But when it
Yeah.
comes when it comes to, I did, I know we have our difference of opinion when it comes to this show, but I really did like this because I like seeing
No,
the
yeah,
real
you're
people
right.
behind it. I really, really do, and especially the Punk and AJ Lee stuff, and then the Larry stuff. Just that is why the show is good.
Yeah, yeah.
Forget about the other bullshit. That's why the show
No,
is
no, like, I agree. I agree. I know. I loved all of this stuff as well. Like, and I thought they nailed it. That like that whole storyline was both really healing in terms of you got to see AJ Lee heal all her own wounds. Like there's that moment where she's like, I'm getting paid like my husband gets paid. Like it's
good.
really a full circle moment. Like you see her signing the contract for her coming back, which is a nice value add for it. So it's healing in that sense, but also so heartbreaking with the Larry stuff. And it's just
Yeah.
like I think they told and Jesus Christ, like I think they told that story so well, and it must have been so hard to tell what like because they were going through it in real time. Like people, like for the past few months, because we're city, people are like, why is Punk on? Oh, he's clearly like, no, do you think maybe his fucking dog died? Like, like, do you think maybe he was working through all of that, but it happened to be WrestleMania season and he needed some time to fucking actually mourn and live and be with his wife and figure out what life is? Like, dogs, I will always say, and I'm not a dog owner, but I fucking long to be. It's just circumstances won't allow it currently. But dogs are family members even more so. And I think they told that story really well with Larry in that it's like, if I'm not with him, AJ's with him. And it's like, you have kids and all, and not to downplay the importance of kids, but like, kids grow up, they become more independent. Like, they get to a certain age where they don't want to fucking see you. You're fucking
Mm.
begging for time with them. You know what I mean? Dogs always need your care, they're always there. So, to feel the loss of a pet in that way, I'm not comparing, but like on a minute to minute basis, it is more painful because your dog needs you minute to minute. It needs you or someone else to care for them. Like, and
Yeah.
they really, really, I thought it was so brave of them to like show that loss on television and just made like again just really like turned me around on Punk in a way that I didn't think in my old age and his old age could be done and I really like had a lot of respect and time for them, and that's why he's not turning heel on Sunday, Jerry. You can't have us go
Oh
through.
Jesus Christ! You're no, he's definitely.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
so it's
can't have us
Cody then.
go through
It's
that.
definitely
I
Cody then.
connected
You
him
can't
on
you
and then
can't
say,
give us you
actually,
just
he's a
cannot give
fucker.
us the unreal episodes and feel sorry for him and then all of a sudden turn him heel. No. So no, I 100%
You know
agree.
your
It's definitely
man
going to be
who
Cody.
you cried
Yeah,
for because he lost his
100%.
dog? Prick. You can't say that. You can't tell that story. Like, um, and now sad before we kind of dump out on it. One actual final note, like as well,
Mm.
because again, I'm not one of these moany people who's like, oh, kayfabe, it's ruined. I think the same as you. It was gone a long time ago. Let's get what value we can out of the new world that we
Yeah.
live in and embrace it and see what we can build. But you can also keep kayfabe, as you kind of touched on there, in aspects of it. There's
Yeah.
one area where it crossed the line a little bit for me that I don't like and I don't think adds value. They made a
Oh.
whole thing in this. They always have to explain something about wrestling because that's the nature of the show. We're pulling back the curtain. They started talking about calling spots in the ring, and I'm like, don't show everyone that because like that is I hate seeing spots being called. Like I hated that aspect of John Cena's career because it just tells you literally what's coming, and it's like we had that part of wrestling ruined for us because we know how to look for it now because we did it. You know what I mean? Um, but it does ruin a part of your fandom when you see that. It's like even noticing fucking people watching the ref for a kick out. You know what I mean? Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it ruins every fucking near fall you'll ever have for the rest of your life. I don't encourage fans on a wide platform like Netflix to go looking for it as a cool thing. It's gonna actually ruin part of their fandom because it does. That was the part I didn't love about the pulling the curtain back. Was there anything else you had to add? That was just that. That's all my notes.
No, no, just I genuinely did enjoy it. For me, the highlights were Braun Breaker stuff and AJ and Punk. Obviously, the Larry stuff really got to me. But um, no, nothing else. I'm still really enjoying it, but I do agree with you that it's not really gripping non-wrestling fans to watch it or to converse with wrestling fans. Say, what happened here? What's going on here? It's not. But this the thing is like I think it was always going to be more gripping for actual wrestling fans than it was
Yeah,
going to
but
be
like
for.
I think my girlfriend could watch this. Like she doesn't like wrestling, and I'm not trying to force it on her either. But like it'd be cool. I've never had that where I've connected, and I never need it because I've never had someone I've connected with over wrestling. You know, it's my thing, and that's fine. I like having my own hobbies and interests. But it'd be nice if it was something that organically happened, and this is the type of thing where it could organically happen. And I think I could really sell her on this show if it was messy and it was like I think I could see her getting really into the booking meetings where they try problem solving. They teach the non-fans how to problem solve in a wrestling sense and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden now I'm having debates with my previous non-wrestling fan girlfriend about was that the right booking decision. You could really do that very well, but they're just not
Yeah.
doing it because they're afraid of saying they're wrong. And it's a shame because that's what the show could be if only Triple H would get over himself and be able to once in his life ever admit, "Oh, maybe I get things wrong sometimes." Like that's it. Like we're literally holding WWE back from a new realm of success to protect Triple H's fragile ego. What the fuck? What are we doing here, lads? Look at what it did for Drive to Survive. Just tell the man to cop on. Uh, I don't know.
Well, protecting his ego. Okay, fair enough. I'd rather than protect his ego than protect Vince McMahon. So
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they seem determined to do both. But another story for another day.
that's definitely for another day.
Jerry, anything you'd like to plug before we wrap up?
As of this recording, we are less than 2 weeks away from Dublin Comic Con Summer Edition in the Convention Centre. I'm really looking forward to this one. As I talked about the last time, we're going to have a new thing on the Sunday, just before the cosplay competition. Or not just before, but about an hour before the cosplay competition, which is going to be the Brody Awards. Really looking forward to that. They Saturday general admission sold out. I think the early ones are probably sold out as well. Very limited tickets for the Sunday. So if you haven't got your tickets, please get them now. I believe the autograph sign-ups for Charlie Cox are also sold out. So this is looking to be a very busy weekend. So if you can get tickets or if you want to go, check it out. I know as well is that please plan your trip accordingly as well, because we've been told that there are train repairs on that weekend for certain tracks. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure on the details. Please check details for this and plan accordingly, so you're not disappointed and you arrive late or wherever it may be. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, DublinComicCon.com, check it out, and I will see you there.
That is the weekend after next, and before that, of course, guys, our final mention for SummerSlam this weekend, all weekend in Woolshed in Dublin. Give yourself a SummerSlam you remember, guaranteed, no matter what happens. But it looks, after talking through, it looks like it's actually going to be pretty decent as well, like the content as well. But I guarantee you personally, you will have a great weekend. I'm working my ass off around the clock, and Gerry is too. Fair play, Gerry. You worked a bit hurt here, so respect for that. And you toughed it out and delivered as you always do. But that is it. Tickets eventbrite.ie. We hope to see you. Have some pints, watch some wrestling this weekend in Woolshed. We'll be back more than likely with a post show afterwards, so we'll kind of reflect on everything, and then we'll have a few weeks break. But in the meantime, that is all we have for this episode of Low Blows. Until this weekend in Woolshed, he's been Gerry. I've been Jer. This has been Low Blows. That's the bottom line, because Low Blows said so. Gerry froze, if anyone's waiting for him to say forgot. Gerry, you froze again. The worst fucking time. Literally the time you say your catchphrase. I'm keeping this in, by the way. I'm keeping this
No,
in.
you're not keeping it in. You're editing it out. No, just say the last bit again so I can say my bit.
No, they're going to know because all of this is getting kept in. Just say your fucking bit.
Ah, Buy tickets or fuck off.
No second takes around here, you prick.